Welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode we will be doing turn 3 of the French. Just as a reminder, there are a total of 12 turns to this scenario. The current real time is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we have the French trying to bulldoze through this road as they retreat from Leipzig, and we have the coalition, which consists of the Bavarians and Austrians, that are subsequently trying to block them. So first off, I need to correct an error that occurred in the last video made, and that was when some cavalry that was sitting here, which have now moved to here, withdrew. They should have been fired at by this artillery battery, which I will resolve now. So it is, they were in this hex, so it will be 6, 5 firepower. With a 2, I think that is just literally a morale check, which it is. That unit's morale. They've rolled a 9, their morale is 8, so they would have been disordered at that point. So if they were here, they need to get back, so that would be 1, 2 towards the lines of communication. So we'll place, and this occurred in turn 2, so they get a 2 marker underneath them. Show that they are disordered. So that was as they were retreating. So yeah. Okay, so that part's done. I've also had a few questions on with regards to artillery and how they work. Okay, so if we take this battery here, it's got a front of 2 hexes, so it can fire in a cone. It's got a range of 5, that's the big 5 number there. And the way artillery fire works is, in the adjacent hex they will have the full firepower, and then for each hex beyond, their firepower deteriorates by 1. Okay, so they'll be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then they've got a range of 7, so once they get to the 1, it'll become 1 till the maximum range, so it'll be 1, 1. Okay, so that's how their firepower works. Now they can have got an opportunity fire zone of 2 hexes out to there. So any movement whilst a unit is in that 2 hex range, so movement out, movement towards, garners opportunity fire. Formation changes and facing changes do not. So if a unit was here and then moved to here, it get opportunity fire. And as in our example over here, my gun was in 2 hex range. As he moved back, it would be shot at whilst he was there, garnering the morale check, which they are there. So they've got a 2 hex opportunity fire range. Now, if a unit moves to engage these guns, so moving from, and this, to give you a heads up, is going to be happening. There's going to be a charge from here onto this guns via this hex here. Okay, so as they move into there, the guns cannot fire them. Normally they would be able to. If I was targeting this cavalry, if I moved to here and then targeted these, the guns can fire. But if the unit that is trying to opportunity fire is the target, it cannot. That's one of the exceptions in the rules. Another question that was asked was about cavalry. There are 3 types of cavalry. You have light cavalry, line cavalry, and heavy cavalry. And they're denoted by the movement values on the counters. So this unit that disordered a few moments ago has got a movement of 10, so that is light cavalry. We have light cavalry here and here. However, in this hex over here with Mr. Splini, we've got some line cavalry with a movement value of 9, and on top some heavy cavalry with a movement value of 8. The counter charge by line and heavy cavalry is done in the adjacent hex. So if I moved my cavalry into here, they could be countercharged. Light cavalry have an extended zone, they can countercharge up to 2 hexes away. So if I move to here, which I'm intending to do, these guys cannot intervene because their charge zone for countercharge is literally 1 hex. They don't actually physically move, both they go into line formation, and then there's a melee at that point. Okay. Right, well, enough with the rules. Let's get on with the actual game. So, in the sequence of play, the first step is the army morale track. Currently, the Austrians are on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then you count each disordered unit, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of 60. So they're about just shy of a third of the way there. The French have taken 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses, and they have 2 disordered. So they're at 9 of their 70. So not quite 1/7. Okay. So next is the cavalry charge phase. And yes, there will be some. So, as I declared in just prior to the actual start of the turn, the cavalry I'm going to put a marker from there, are going to charge. So this is Imperial Guard cavalry, commanded by Nansauti. If that is the correct pronunciation, I have no idea. I'm not French. If he's French, because there are quite a few foreign officers in their course. So this is unit 12 and 13. Okay, right. So they declare a charge. And move from that position into there. With Sauti leading the charge. As I mentioned earlier in the rules, these cannot opportunity fire for that move, because I don't have to declare the target of the charge at this point, but to prevent the opportunity fire I do. So they are the target of the charge. These guys cannot countercharge because they are heavy and line cavalry. If they were light, they could have done so, but they cannot. Okay, let me just keep that with him to show his fatigue. The charge is actually resolved in the melee phase, so that is the last thing that occurs there. Now, is there any other charges I'd like to do? There are no further charges. So on to the movement phase. Okay. So the aim behind my turn is to get this guard that are sitting here to swing into these guys. We have Napoleon with some grenadiers. So we need to create space for them because of the stacking rules. So Victor's troops, actually, let's start at this end. So this artillery, okay, if it moves into here and unlimbers, it will suffer an opportunity fire shot from these guys. No, it won't. It's changing formation. That's fine. And moving into the hex is fine. So the infantry move into there. The guns unlimber. Sorry, limber for 2 movement points. They've got 8. 3 movement points, 4, 5 into there. Okay. This gun here will do the same. So that will be 1 to limber, 2 to limber, 3, and then 4, 5 to there. Okay. This gun will do the same. Okay. Leave the gun there for the moment. Right, so far Victor's infantry have moved 1 movement point, which is fine. If they move more than half the movement, they will accumulate fatigue. So this guy will go into column for 1 movement point. When he does so, he had a facing of those two hexes. So his face, when it goes into column, must at least have one of those two hexes in it. So he goes into column there for 1. Change facing, nothing on his first hex, in there for 2. Change facing. In there, change facing for 3. Now, if he goes into line, that will mean that victors will accumulate fatigue. So he can stay in column, or he can go into line. I think, in actual fact, I will have him going into line. Much better firepower if the Austrians are coming. So he's now protecting that gun. I'll now put Victor with him. And as they have moved 4 movement points, which is over half their total, they accumulate a fatigue point. Okay, which I will actually stick now on the guys. There we go. Actually, I think that might have been, yes. So that's actually their second fatigue point. There was already a dice there. That makes sense. I need to put these dice on the actual leader counters rather than next to them. Okay. Okay, this battery here, again, limbers, moves forward, removes its skirmishers, and then unlimbers. No, I think we're happy with that facing into there. Right, and now the guard. Come calling. The Bavarians are a bit nervous of the old guard due to being their allies for many years. They are a bit nervous of their reputation. This unit here, with his voltigeurs, moves into here, which forces these voltigeurs out the way. They cancel each other. That's 1 movement point. 2. Facing change. They are now moving into here. These voltigeurs do get a shot off, requiring a 6 for a hit. No. As they then disappear. Okay. Right, so under Freyant we have two, three, eight Hydra in the move. They can deploy Voltigeurs, which they will do as they go into there, and as they go in there, both units Voltigeurs clear each other out of the way. Now, yes, if they move here, these guys will get an opportunity fire shot on them. So, let's do a facing change there. Right, 1, make sure I'm not overstacking. 1, and it's just a gun battery with three steps, 3 infantry, that's fine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1 for the stream. Bad dog sugar is only +1 for the stream. Infantry, it's 2 in line, so yeah, that's fine. 6. Okay. Okay. 2, 3, 'Remember, facing changes do not accrue any opportunity fire. Right, so Fryant will manoeuvre and join this fray with Lamont. He was on 2 fatigue, he will now be on 3. McDonald's troops haven't moved. There's cavalry here now. And I think, again, it is nice to keep units in reserve and keep enough gap between units for other units to run away through. And Napoleon will sit in the back there. I went straight into Cavalry Charges thinking about it now. I didn't do command checks, but everyone's well within Napoleon's command range. So, right, Cavalry in forests is 4, Cavalry crossing streams +2. So, for this unit to go from here to here will be 4 for the forest, 2 for streams, that's 6. And then for them to enter here, 7, 8. Sorry, 7. Okay. These guys do have an option to opportunity charge, but they'll be going directly across the stream, which they will decline to do because that gives them a minus value. In fact, it only puts their melee value at 1. So I think they'll decline that option. This gun battery here, if it moves forward, he could opportunity charge. Sorry, counter charge. True, his value will be reduced to melee value of 1. So what am I referring to here? Okay, so if we look at one of these cavalry units, and I'll bring them a bit closer. Okay, camera focus on that. You've got a red number, which is their melee value, and then the number with the white writing in the black box is their strength. And the melee value is multiplied by the strength to give them the melee total. Now, in this case, if they charged across that stream, that 3 would change to a 1. So whereas at the present moment that lead unit's got a combat value of 9, if he charges across into here, or counter charges across down to 3, which is still probably strong enough for my guns, because my gun's got a melee value of 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. And if he charges with both of those, he'll be charging with 6 versus 2, 3 to 1, which is highly likely to take out the guns. True, he's got to pass a morale check, but morale of 9, they're pretty likely to do it. So why risk it? The guns at 2x range can still pepper that cavalry with artillery, and this battery here can actually 1 limber, 2 limber, 3, 4, 5 into there. So, sworded cavalry, I'm just going to move them back a hex, get range. Okay, so I've already increased, well, I've seen salty because of him and all the movement points expended. Their fatigue goes up to 3. Okay, any other movement? So these guys, cavalry, they're at 1. They didn't accumulate any further. The artillery don't. The guard have and have done. McDonald's didn't. Victor's did. So that, I believe, is the French movement complete. Coalition defensive fire. Okay, so moving along the front. This is Cavalry Infantry. So it looks like the first. Let's put Mr. Splini back on top. Is this gun here? So he'll be firing with a fire value of 5 into that cavalry. Okay. That was probably the best result. Well, it is the best result we can get. That might be 2 steps on the cavalry. It is indeed. Ouch. That battery have been absolutely heroic. Alright, so this guard cavalry, unit 12, has taken 2 losses. That hurts. Right, which means there's a potential leader loss as well. Okay. So on a 6, Nansalty takes a step loss. No. Then the morale of that guard cavalry, they pass. Whew! Right. This battery has 2 targets really. This here, or the guard. I think the guard are going to take precedence. So they have a value of 5, 4, and then these can combine 5. See, each one of these got a value of 1. No, but they're disordered. Disordered units can still fire. So with a fire strength of 1, so it's 5, 4 from the guns, 5, 6 on the guard. These Austrians are rolling good. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright, so on unit 5, they take 2 step losses. Blimey, I'm getting blown to pieces. Okay, morale check. The morale is 10. Yeah, they're okay. Right, moving down the line. We're into here now. Fire value of 3. Fire value of 3. With a 4. That is a step loss. On unit number 2. Yeah, they still bleed. Morale check. Okay, morale's 11. This unit on here, unit 23. Yeah, he's got fire step 3. Finally, these Austrians miss. God dear. Right, onto this unit here. He's also got a fire strength of 3. Onto that one. It's a miss. Okay, so here it's fire strength of 4, but he's firing into the woods, which subtracts 1, so it's 3. The 5 is a step loss. That's on unit number 4. Morale check. Nope. And this unit with this combined onto here, so he's got 4, 5. Whew. Well, that was horrendous. The Guard have so far taken 5 step losses. In game terms, that's 10 victory points. In my personal morale term, that hurts. 5 Guard step losses. Wow. Well, hopefully they will be able to return the favour, especially in the melee. Alright, so it's now the offensive fire phase. Actually, just make sure I haven't missed some guns. No. So offensive fire. I'll start on the same flank. Right. So this battery and this battery will combine on here. So we have 6, 5 and 6, 5, 4. Total of 9 firepower on that cavalry. 9 and 5. That's 2 hits. Okay. So that means Spallini potentially, well, let's roll for Spallini. On a 6 is the leader lost because there was 2 hits in the hex. Spallini's okay. Right, so it's unit 10 of the cavalry. Okay, 2 losses. Their morale is 9. Spallini gives them an additional +1, so morale's 10. Ooh, good job he was there, because if he wasn't, they were disordered. Okay. So they pass. Okay. This battery will fire on this cavalry here. So 6, 5, 4. As everything else is covered here, this battery here will join in that. So 6. Is this one of the 7s? It is. 7, 6, 5, 4. So it's actually a total of 8 onto this unit. So it's that and that fired. It's not fired yet. So 8 firepower. So that's with 3. There's only 1 hit. On unit number 7. Unit 7, 1 hit. That's his first one. Okay, morale check. Morale of 8. Yep, they're fine. So that's that battery and that battery. Sorry, that battery and that battery. So this battery hasn't fired, but has he got any targets? There's no one on the hill. He has got a target there, but it's a blocking terrain, blocking it there and blocking you on that side. I think that is blocked. Can't see them. And definitely can't shoot over the hill, so actually they have no target. So they fired this unit. Has no target either. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Right, so the Grenadiers coming in onto them. So they have a fire value in column. Only 1. Oh, this one here first. Only 1 onto them. Fire value of 1, you need a 6 to score a hit. No. This one here needs a 6 to score a hit. No. Moving along the front. So this one needs a 6 on that. No. These two combined on this one need a 6. No, it's 2 firepower, so need a 5 or a 6. So that's a step loss on this unit here, which is the unit number 30. That's a huge, yeah, you can see now it's got 7 steps. 30. The Schlechtlers Grens. Okay, they've got a morale of 9. Alright, they're okay. They take it. This unit on here needs a 6. No. And these 2 units combined, 5 or 6. No. Okay. Not as effective as I was hoping, but yeah. Into the melee phase. Okay, well, we're going to resolve this melee here on these guns. So, let me remove my cavalry. I'll mark that just as a reminder. Okay, so the 2 units I've got involved. Okay, 12 and 13. Right, so it's Dragoons of the Guard, Grenadiers, and the Grenadiers are Cheval. Okay, the Dragoons have got a melee value of 7, multiplied by only 1, because they've got taken 2 step losses, so that's 7. The other unit's got 2 steps, and they've got a melee value of 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 7 is 23. And that gun has got a melee value of 2. So that's 4 to 1. And Ansalti, I'm going to stick here, he adds 2 to the melee. So it's plus 2 on the dice at 4 to 1. 4 to 1 is the highest column on the charts. Well, that was the lowest roll, but it's enough. 4 to 1. So you cannot see 4 to 1. With a 3, thanks to the dial modifier, is a 0D. They dismantled the gun, disorganized the guns. So when guns are disorganized, they get this marker placed upon them. And then my carry into that hex is an advance after combat, which then takes out the guns, because as soon as the hex is occupied by an enemy unit, the guns are removed. So I'll eliminate them for the moment. So my cavalry is now there. Okay, so they can now exploit from that position. They can change facing by up to 60 degrees, which they won't do. What they're going to do is charge those guns. Alright, so obviously they can't form a square. They can't the guns can't change facing. So yeah, so that's straight into the flank there. That's going to be another 4 to 1. Again with Ansalti. There's no, I'm just looking for Austrian options here. These guys are disordered, so they can't countercharge. These guys are out of facing, so can't do anything. These guys, that's to their front, but cavalry can't charge over their own guns, and they are like cavalry, admittedly, but they can't charge over their own guns. So I can't see anything that the guns can do there. If I make an error here, then I'm making an error, but that's it, I think. So that's a 4, plus 2 for the salty, at 4 to 1. That's a 6. That's a straight out elimination of that gun battery. And the cavalry end there. At which point I've got options. They could voluntarily disorder to put them back in over here. They can retreat 2 X's, and they will get a turn marker on them showing that they are sorry, they'll get a turn marker 1 less than the current turn, or I can keep them there. I will keep them there, and at that point they get placed with a post-charge marker to show that they can't charge next turn. Okay, and then salty, as they meleeed, their fatigue goes up by 1, so they're now on 4 fatigue. Okay. Yeah. Right, continuing into the melee phase, we have this grenadier, sorry, chasseurs of the guard, attacking here. Right, so his melee value, I'm not sure, he's number 5. He's actually only got 1 step left. So in column you get a bonus, so it'll be melee value of 3 becomes 4 for column, minus 1. No minuses, 4. But he's only got 1 step. 4 times 1 is 1. These guys have got, well, that's unit 20. He's only got 1 step as well. Phew. So he's at 1 times 1 is 1. I said I was 3, column 4. Yeah, so explain what I'm doing here. So their melee value is 3. If you're in a column whilst under the attack, which they are, because they're in movement phase, that is boosted by 1, so that's 4. 4 times only 1 step is 4, so it's still 4 to 1 on them. 4 to 1 with a 4 is 0D, so they're already D'd, so they rout. Now, they've got this big river behind them. Can they rout? Answer is no. This river is so swollen that you can't retreat across it, except at a bridge. So they are taken out. They only had 1 step remaining, but that's now gone. Alright, so that's unit 20. That's its final step. I should record the losses on these guns. 12 and 13. They are gone. Right. Grenadiers can advance after combat if I so wish. Which means this cavalry could opportunity counter charge up. Doing so, I think the grenadiers are fine there. Right, over here. Right, I'm going to increase the fatigue map early on here because they have the grenadiers are definitely assaulting or meleeing. I've already done one, so that increases the fatigue for the whole division. Right, so here we have unit number 2, which is the 2nd Chasseurs of the Guard, hitting Lamont's boys. They're down to 3 steps, so they've got 4, because their attack column becomes 5. 5 multiplied by only 3 steps is 15. And these Bavarians are unit 17. They're on 2 steps, so their melee value is 2. Multiplied by 2 is 4. The artillery do not contribute anything. 4. However, there is a stream here, so going through that again. 4, attack column 5, down 1 for the stream 4. So 4 by 3 is 12. 12, not 15, versus well, this is what happens when you get over 50. 12. Got to remember the 12. Okay, and this one here again was, he's got how many steps remaining? Unit 17, 2 steps remaining. 2 by 2 is 4. So it's 3 to 1. Okay, got there in the end. 3 to 1. Friant is giving them +2 in the melee. Lamotte is subtracting 1. So net is +1. Net is +1. So it's 3 to 1 with a +1. That's a 5. 3 to 1 with a 5 is 0D. Right. So at that point, these guys disorder, and again we have the river causing problems here. All right, they would be trapped there. They could, and they've got towards the line of communication. There is a line of communication off this side of the map. It will require them going through this unit, but needs must. So that goes into there and there. Now let's first of all, they won't be overstacked, no. And the guns can go with, all disordered. Okay, we are in turn 3, so they get a 3 marker on them. Trapped against the riverbank. Now this unit's got to take the morale for that other unit bursting through it. Their morale is 6. They love it. And the guard cross. With Friant leading them. Okay, moving along the line. So this unit into this unit here, melee value. Okay, so this is unit number 1. The 1st Chasseurs of the Guard. They've taken no losses, so they have a strength of 5. Melee value of 4, multiply, added by 1, because they're in attack column, that's 5. 5 by 5, 25. This unit number 23 has got 3 steps. 2 by 3 is 6. 4 6s, 24, they got 25, it's 4 to 1. Four to 1 with a 3, 0 D. Those guys are disordered. Fall back 2 hexes. 1, 2. I think straight back. 2. Notice there's no step loss. It's actually normally step losses occur if both sides actually stand. So I read that as there was actually very little physical contact. The Grenadiers just marched in and up at them. Okay. These two units against this big boy. Alright. So this is unit number 30. He's got 6 steps. So 2 times 6. He's got a strength of 12. Alright. This unit in attack column. He's got only 2 steps. What unit is this? Unit 6. The Flanvelites. Alright, so he's got 3. Add 1 because it's attack column 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 from that unit. This unit here, 03, he's got 3 steps remaining. He's in the woods, so he's not in an attack column, so his actual lump value here is dropped by 1, so that's 3. Multiplied by 3 is 9. 9 plus 8, 17. And they had 2 times 6, 12. That's 3 to 2. That's not great. 3 to 2. That's 3 to 2. That's 0, star 0. What that actually means is no one takes any losses, but these 2 units have got to take morale check. Morale 10. And then morale 11. Okay, then fine. Over here. Right. This unit here, number 33, has only got 1 step remaining. Okay, so he is worth 2 times 1, he's worth 2. Right, this unit here coming out the woods, that's unit number 4. He's got 3 steps remaining. So he's at 4. Minus 1 for the woods is 3. 3 times 3 is 9 versus 2 times 1 is 2. 4 to 1. Four to 1 with a 3. 0D. Okay, now we've got problems because he's got to disorganise, which is a retreat of 2. 1, 2. There's a nice little 3 underneath him. Okay, he moves forward into that. These guys have now got to take a morale check because they've got their own guys come through them. Now there was only 1 step remaining in there, so from stacking purposes we should be fine because he's got, that's unit 32, he's got 6, 7, 8 from the guns. Okay, so their morale is 8 as they've got their own guys coming through them. Nine, they fail as well. Okay, so that's the top unit that's failed. If the top unit passes, the whole stack passes. If the top unit fails, then the bottom unit's got to take a morale check. His morale is 8, but it subtracts 2 for the top unit failing, so his morale is 6. Okay, so they go as well. Alright. Now they go through the same guy. You don't have these testing again. So these go back 2. With the guns. I should have added the +1 for Becker's, but they still failed anyway. Alright, so then the final melee, which is here. So we have Unit 25 defending. He's got 3 steps. 2 times 3, so he's got 6. That's an easy number to remember, isn't it? Especially if you put one of those on it. 6. Okay. Right, so this guy coming up the forest, he's got a value of 2, which becomes 1. Okay, because he's not an attack column, so it's 1. And it's 1 times by, so he's unit 28. He's at 1 full strength, so that's 5 from him. And this unit, which is unit 29, has taken a step loss. So he's 4, but he is an attack column, so it's 2 times, add 1 is 3. 3 fours is 12. It's 12 from him. And 5 from him, 17. 17 against 6, not quite 3 to 1, so it's 2 to 1. However, there is a +1 on the dice. Two to 1 with a 5 is a 0D again. Right, so these are falling back as well. We're having a little bit of traffic jam here now. So they go through into there, and then into here. Right. Okay, so let's give him their nice. Okay, temporarily run out of 3 markers. Alright, so this unit's falling back. Alright, so it ends. Right, so it ends up in this hex here. 3 mark on it. It's gone through this hex here. It's got a morale of 6. So they fail it as well. Right. So they all trying to get through here. They can't cross this river. So I believe that they're going to end up. This is going to get quite well. Let's finish off the first, right? Okay. So the unit that fell back from here ends up here, which makes the unit that it's just entered, which is this unit, take its morale check. Their morale is 8. They fail. Okay. They can't go this way. They can only go this way. So they can end up here with a 3 marker under them. But that's a disordered unit going through this stack here. Okay, so disorganised unit entering a hex with other disorganised units has no effect unless overstacked, which I don't think will be the case here. That's right. I have to check on that. So it's unit 32. It's got 6 steps. It's artillery 7, 8, and this one here. Looks like that's unit 28. Got 3 sets. That's 11. As it falls back into there, so that is overstacked, which means that the guys already present must do a 1-2 hex retreat, which effectively they can't do. They're trapped against this river. So Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm still not even doing this unit yet. Right, they can retreat across the bridge. There is a bridge here. Okay, right. So these guys can retreat across the bridge. True, it's going to disorganise this guy. 2 hexes, 1, 2. So, this guy's got to take a morale check. Phew. Morale check on. So, this guy's failed. We've still got to do this guy's move back. We'll do that in a moment. This battery here, its morale. They fail. They were limbered, so we get a disorganised gun marker placed on top of them. What that actually means is if the French can get into there, they can destroy the guns in the next, which is not going to happen, and then in their next turn they could actually then move away disorganised. Okay, so this guy can now fall back to here. Oh, I'm using up 3 counters. Right. And they can advance in 5. Yeah. Which they'll do. Well, that was the final melee. And as you can see, alright, so, sorry, before I forget, MacDonald gets his first fatigue because he did melee. This river being behind where they can't cross is starting to cause all manner of confusion for the Austrians and the Bavarians. There's freeing up a movement here. Be interesting to see what orders I will be given for Spallini. He has a potential for coming in here, but the guns are protected by infantry that can form a square if required, and then there's obviously quite a lot of cavalry over here. So that, I would say, was quite action intensive. The guard coming in. Interesting that 1 battalion stood here, and obviously we haven't got into this town here. So thank you for watching. Oh, wait a minute, I'm rushing here. Whoops. Rewind. We're in turn 3. After the combat phase, or melee phase, there's the rally phase. And I've got some cavalry over here that have got a 1 on them. So they can try and recover. Because you can only recover if the turn number that's on them, on the counter, is 2 or more less than the current turn. So for example, all these big stacks with 3s on them cannot recover until at least turn 5. Okay, so this unit of mine over here is a morale check. Their morale is 11, but 2 is subtracted for being disordered. So the top unit, he's a 9. They're very keen to get back in the fight. This unit is a 10, which becomes an 8. They fail. So if you fail a rally order, they fall back 2 hexes. So they're okay. Who are they? Oh dear. Guard Cavalry, Unit 10. Young Guard. And Chasseurs of the 11. Chasseurs of Cheval. Okay. So, yes. A bloody turn for the French. They took quite a few losses, especially on the guard. However, this is now training into a little disaster for the coalition. Have I got anything else to do? Fatigue. I've done all the fatigue addings up already. That's the last thing that's done in a turn. Make sure I'm not missing anything else. Do I want to deploy any voltigeurs for the French? I don't think it's really. I suppose these could, but no, I think we're good to go. All right, so that does end the French turn. Stop me faffing around. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. If you do like, press the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so far already. Any comments, any rules, mistakes you see, spot. Again, I'm relatively new to the system. This is probably my third battle. Let's see, Salamanca, Sereni, this one. Done Salamanca. I'm middle of a game called Vakana. That's all from the 4 battles in Spain. But yeah, so as I said, any comments will be much appreciated. Any questions? There was one question I haven't answered, which I did in a comment, but what kind of pen am I using? Well, there we go. If that helps anybody. All the best. Join me in the next video. Bye bye.